Welcome back to Bear TV, where we're going to talk today about eating, food, all the great stuff that we all like. Being joined by a very special guest, Miss Kansas Cooley, who's the head of Culinary here at Bradley Central in Kansas. Welcome to our show today.
Thank you.
We love you around here because we know the good stuff that you make and provide for the staff and the students and everyone else. And going back, bringing folks forward, because you replaced Chef Lamont, who retired several months ago, and he was here for several years. You're a Bradley alumnus from way back, and I think you know a good friend of ours. As a matter of fact, he might have been the one that taught you in culinary, and who would that be?
Chef Flowers, or Mr. Schroyer. Yeah, Mr. Schroyer was one that got me the position, but when I was an alumni, I was under Chef Flowers.
Okay, Chef Flowers, Richmond
Chef
Flowers. Of course, we all know Richmond and everything. And what created the desire in you to get into this line of business, to be culinary?
It started with this class, actually. If I would have never had culinary, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like, that really triggered that in me whenever I started. Didn't think I could ever cook anything. No one in my family can cook. So
Well.
I thought that I kind of, got that part of the deal. But no, Richmond was great. And when we started learning mother sauces and things like that, I realized I had a natural knack for it. So then I just kind of stayed into it with restaurants.
You'll never go hungry then, I guess,
Yeah.
if you want to look at that. Well, before you came to Bradley, now fill the folks in a little bit, because we're trying to introduce you to the general public here and the administration as well. But what is your background prior to coming to Bradley? Did you work in the food business?
I
preparing
have
food?
pretty much only worked in the food business. I've worked at several restaurants, from anything from a dishwasher to a hostess, server to line cook to a manager. Worked for places like Old Chicago, Applebee's, Chili's, Gabriel's here in town. So a lot of different diverse type of restaurants that I've worked for in different positions.
Well, you got a good background for different things there. Now, here at Bradley Central High School, we have 3 different classes at 3 different levels, and typically you don't take them as a freshman when you come into Bradley first, but as sophomores, juniors, and seniors, is that how you advance through the cooking program? Is that pretty much? And what, in that first level, what would be a typical thing that you'd teach the kids? I know safety is a huge thing.
Yes.
First and foremost, it's about safety.
Safety and
cleanliness.
sanitation. Yeah, safety and sanitation. We stay on that one for a long time just because of how important it is. First levels, they have to pass a safety exam with 100% to be able to actually be in the kitchen and work. So I work with them for the first few weeks on understanding what pathogens are, how contamination happens in the kitchen, and how diseases can spread through food, and how to prevent all of that and stay clean in the kitchen.
Well, and people need to understand too that we have a cafeteria that's a whole different part of the campus program here, where they prepare food for the kids for breakfast and lunch and so forth. But you're in culinary, you're actually teaching students how to cook and things to cook there. And I know, being any food processor place, not process, but food, we prepare it, trying to think of the word prepare it. You're subject to inspections by the Bradley County Health Department.
Yeah,
and they're not going to call you and say, hey, we're coming, clean up.
No,
they
they
go walk in
show
the door
up.
and say, hey, we need to look. You know?
Yeah, they show up, and we actually had one back in November, I think, or December, beginning of December. It actually went really well, especially considering I was new. But yeah, they just walk right in, and I think that if we stay on top of things that they look for at all times, then we don't have to worry when they just randomly stop by and visit. So that's another thing that I try to stay on top of in our kitchen, is making sure we're doing what we have to do at all times.
Well, that's great, because a lot of us eat there. You know, we appreciate what you do in there. And let's talk about the different level classes. You know, if I'm, you talk about sanitation and safety in that first one, but you migrate into some cooking thing, preparing food. What would you learn in the second and third year classes? How sophisticated can the kids get with preparing something?
It's really at their own level. I try to pay attention to where they are. I break things up into different groups, such as baking, entrees, things of that nature. But every week when we do our Thursday lunches, I make sure to split the students up into a different activity that they haven't done before, to kind of get them out of their comfort zone. And they learn, second level learns more of the beginning stages of how to work with the food, and the third level, they kind of just get in there, and I let them have a lot of creative freedom in the kitchen.
So if I'm one of the students and I think, hey, I'd like to try to cook this or prepare this or bake this, whatever, so I could come to you and say, hey, let's try this and give it a whirl. See
Oh yeah,
what we
I'm
get
always
there.
welcome to new ideas from the students, and they love coming up with them. So.
Oh, I bet they do. And I was in there just last Thursday eating lunch and enjoyed it very much. There's also special events you prepare for throughout the year, like the Teachers Appreciation Luncheon and things of that nature.
We do several different things. We actually have one coming up for the battered women. They come in and they get dressed up and get makeovers, and we'll actually serve them a nice brunch and make them have a lot of attention that day. And then we do things for the different groups around school that might have special events. We'll make food for them. And we would like to eventually get it to where we can start doing some cooking competitions like chili cook-off and things like that, maybe get some more of the public involved with our program.
You know how hungry I am sitting here talking about food, I tell you what. So you do have opportunities for outside groups that could contact you and just call the school here and say, hey, we're looking possibly doing something here. Would you be interested in preparing meals for us, or
we're definitely
having the cafeteria host it here? Or?
Yeah, we're definitely open-minded with that. We actually just got a deal with Catnapper, and we'll be working with them and delivering food for them on Fridays for their new trainees to eat lunch. So just different things. As long as we are able to do it, I really try to get them to do it. As long as we have the date open, we try to make it happen.
Well, that's great, because that helps the community to know what's going on, and who knows where they may end up working there. Now, let's talk about one of my special things. The favorite thing is Thursday Bistro,
Yes.
which is for the staff here, and it's not free. We come in, we pay for it just like we're walking into a restaurant. We go through the line, get our food, and we have the students who wait on us and take care of things and make sure the food and everything's prepared correctly, and then just take care of things, just like we would in any restaurant. Now, and I know you have themes for that. How do you go about selecting? Are we going to do Italian? Are we going to do Mexican? Are we going to do Chinese? Are we going to do whatever? Do you have certain themes that you have planned out, or is it sort of on the fly? I mean,
No, we plan them out. I try to switch I try to use a different country every week, just so that the students can become more interested in the different cultures and the different traditions that are in food, and I think that's really important to learn. This week we're doing Indian. Last week we did United Kingdom, and going forward we'll do different countries such as Italy, Germany, Japan.
Wow.
Different, just try to get all over the map as far as we can, just to give them that little bit of encouragement to venture out and try new things.
Bangers and mash last week.
Yeah, that turned out really good. Yeah, I was very surprised. And the students cook everything themselves. I give them the recipes. I give them a little tip, here and there, and oversee everything. But they prepare everything, and it turns out really well.
They'll stop me in the hall sometimes. Hey, I did this. I made this. I cooked this, or I baked this. Whatever. You need to go try that. So I always try to help them out there. But
I tell them all the time, take pictures of everything you do, so that you can show everyone what you've been working on.
Well, I think it's a great class. There's not a lot of schools around that have the opportunity to present a class like that, and it's not like learning math or English or history, which is great, important stuff, folks. Don't get me wrong here, but if you learn how to cook, that'll carry a long way in life. No matter to the end of your days, So it's a great skill.
I always felt like one of those students that wasn't really meant for college. So when I got into the restaurant business, that was kind of me feeling like, well, I don't really have anything else to do. And then I started realizing that I was pretty good at it, and it ended up taking me pretty far in life with just those skills that I learned here at Bradley in Culinary. So that's kind of what I try to do with my students now, is give them that love for cooking, and it'll take them far, and they can be their own boss. They can, be an executive chef for a new hotel, and it doesn't exactly necessarily mean you have to go to college. You just have to work hard and have initiative.
Well, I know that the students are in there. I've talked to a lot of them, and I go in there and I see them working. They're enjoying the heck out of it and thrilled to death to be in there and having a good time learning stuff, and also preparing food and learning, life skills, I call it, that will be with them for a long, long time. But we want to thank you for joining us here today on Bear TV. These videos are available on YouTube, on Facebook, as well as BCHS.tv. Just look for the BCHS Bear Network on YouTube and Facebook. And from Kansas, Cooley, thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Gary Ownbey, saying so long for now. God bless, and go Bears.